Hey guys, today we're going to say Annyeong, Saranghae, and Taekwondo in today's review of Pokemon Splendor. Pokemon Splendor, published by Space Cowboys, is a Korean exclusive version of the 2014 classic Splendor. And yes, I think we're allowed to call Splendor a classic. I mean, the game came out in 2014, that's 10 years ago. Boy, where did the years pass? You know. Is Pokemon Splendor a faithful adaptation of Splendor with meaningful thematic add-ons, or a minimum effort cash grab which slaps the Pokemon IP on an already established, unanimously loved, award-winning board game? Let's find out. Before we start, I'm going to put a word counter over here for every time I say the word ball. Just for no reason. Just a brief run through of the game. Pokemon Splendor works very similar to that of the OG Splendor. It's a 2 to 4 player game where players take the role of Pokemon trainers, which is represented by these beautiful looking tiles, in competition with each other to see who can catch and evolve the most valuable Pokemon. These ball tokens are used for currency of sorts to, yes, catch Pokemon. The balls look gorgeous and are very satisfying to hold. By balls, I mean the tokens, the ball token. Each Pokemon will have unique requirements on which ball and how many balls needed to catch them. The Tier 1 cards are the first evolution, the Tier 2 cards are the second evolution, and Tier 3 cards are the final evolution. Here, the legendary and rare Pokemon take the place of the nobles from the original game. Now let's talk about the evolutions, which is this game's exclusive mechanic. Evolutions are performed at the end of the player's turn and does not count as an action. A Pokemon can only be evolved one at a time. This is how the evolution mechanic works. The Pokemon a player gets has bonuses on their cards, which not only makes Pokemon catching easier, as bonuses can be used as a permanent ball token instead of paying with the ball chips. Bonuses play a vital role in evolution. If your caught Pokemon has its evolution on display or is reserved on your hand, and you have enough bonuses from the Pokemon that you've caught earlier, you can perform an evolution. The game ends when someone has 18 points, and everyone finishes their turn, and the player with the most points wins. If there's a tie, the player with the most evolutions wins, and if there's a tie again, the player with the most Pokemons in front of them wins. Let's talk about the pros. The new mechanics have been executed beautifully and fit the theme very, very well. It's quite honestly genius. Pokemon and Splendor, they just work. Let's talk about the evolution mechanic. It adds an all-new layer of strategy. Because it can be done without costing an action, it opens up opportunity for a comeback. While I was playtesting this with friends on a 4-player game, I was leading by 10 at some point. I still lost because one of my friends ended up doing an evolution chain by evolving a Pokemon one turn after another. This game truly feels like no lead is safe. I keep saying this, but the art is absolutely stunning. Another pro is, I think, for non-gamers which aren't familiar with Splendor, I feel like it's easier for them to get excited for a game that involves Pokemon. And in true Pokemon fashion, each game comes with one holo special card. Just look at that, I can appreciate this as a Pokemon lover. And speaking of being a Pokemon fan, this game has its own Pokédex where you can tick off Pokemon that you've caught in each game. You can write your name on top here. Me and my partner are slowly ticking this off. We're really thinking about framing it because we've been playing this game to death. That's how much we loved it. Speaking like a first gener, I'm very happy we have the original Pokemon from here. Not that I have any issues with the newer Pokemon, it's part of someone else's childhood, not anymore mine. But it's a bit hard for me to connect the Gen 5 Pokemon that I don't know what his name is. But Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Blastoise, Charizard, maybe it's not just me, but the general population might find it easier to connect with the Pokemons that they know. Now, let's talk about the cons. There is currently no English version of this game, so getting resources and rules might be a bit of a chore because you have to find it online. I can see this as being a barrier for some people. almost similar to the original Splendor, which has had its critiques on theme. I can't help but say the theme of multiple Master Balls gets me just a little bit, because as any Pokemon fan would know, there's supposed to be only one copy of the Master Ball, and here we have 5, and after using the Master Ball, it gets resupplied. So I hope I don't sound like I'm nitpicking here, but this bothers me in terms of theme just a little bit. Because this is a Korean exclusive game, depending on which part of the world that you live in, this game's price has to come with a delivery fee as well. I've made a video about the cheapest price that I've found. Hopefully I'm able to help in a small way for this community. By the way, Pikachu slapped on this game cover, but he's not in the game. So false marketing? Final thoughts. Pokemon Splendor manages to successfully combine the strategic, simplistic vein of the original game while giving a unique and thematic flair that only Pokemon can. Final verdict, find a way to get this game, especially if you're a Pokemon fan. And to end this video, let me just say peace and that I love